Hello and welcome back to another live stream. Welcome back to the YouTube channel. Brentford 1, West Ham United 1. This is your match reaction, people. Like the video as you're coming in. Make sure to subscribe if you are new. The road to 1K is still on. As always, big up for the support as of recently. And yeah, we've got a lot to get into, man. Got a lot to get into. But at GVO Mikes on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok if you guys want to follow me as well. Yes, I am still kind of under the weather, so if you think my voice is fucked, it is. But we will carry on. Hopefully, this stream will be longer than yesterday. But yesterday I was just exhausted. But this stream today will be longer. But yeah, a lot to get into, people. Big up Musty, as always. Chelsea won again, unfortunately. But listen, it is what it is. It is what it is. But yeah, we're gonna get into everything, people. The player ratings, the game, and it seems like the tide is turning in a way. I think the tide is slowly turning. To the way I was thinking a week ago. When it comes to the general consensus, I think people are realizing that they can't really defend this for much longer. And listen, I know people like the whole patience thing, but as I said, patience cannot just be given automatically. You know, so no, we were terrible. We were absolutely terrible. Another terrible performance, but that's the thing. I'm not even angry. I'm not even angry. We don't have an identity. I've kind of just given up now with this club. I'll be real. I kind of just given up with getting excited and stuff like that. But yeah, honestly, it's just same old. It's the same old of what we've been seeing for the past few weeks and even in the past 2 seasons, past 3 seasons if you don't count the cup. If we're talking strictly Premier League performances, we haven't been good in the Premier League for about 3 years on a consistent basis. Let's say the 21-22 season. We had patches in other seasons, but if we're talking about consistency, then 2021 is kind of the last time we've been good in the Premier League. Big up to Warrior, as always. I was about to say, at least you didn't lose, but you might be pissed with that statement. So, this is the thing, bro. Like, we've won one game throughout the whole time. Haven't won since game week 2 in the Prem. So a draw to Brentford away and a draw to Fulham away, whilst losing to Chelsea, Villa, and Man City isn't good enough. Yeah, I know how you feel. This has been the last 2 seasons. Yeah, and now you got Maresca, so you guys get to bounce back. Meanwhile, we've got this guy. Big up to Charlie as always. I fell asleep at half time. I have no idea how the second half was. It was a little bit better. Don't get me wrong, but it was like a little bit better for like 10 minutes. It was good until we scored, and then when we scored, it kind of just went to shit again. But yeah, that's the problem. Yeah, first half was definitely shit. First half was so shit. And that one game was against the Palace side that's struggling. Yeah, when you look at that win in hindsight, it doesn't look that too impressive. Like, you think, okay, at the time it was like, I was propping up Palace at the start of the season. As much as I don't like them, I was very impressed with how they were building their squad, and I thought their manager would be getting a bit more right than this. And when you look back at the game, you're kind of just thinking how, like, we actually did play well, like very well defensively in that game, but it's just like that win doesn't look too impressive. But the reason why the tide is like turned, guys, is because even if you go back to the shows I was on around this time, like after the Man City game, I was very much during the international break that hopefully if we play the way we did, what's it called, against, Man City, the way we win against like lesser teams, we beat them. But when we went against Fulham after the international break and played completely different with a completely different lineup and a completely different tactical setup. So the manager doesn't make any sense. He's erratic in everything that he does. We have zero creativity. We don't look like we are ever going to score. Exactly. We don't know what we're doing on the pitch. There is no identity on and off the ball. Who was your left back in the second half? I saw Mavropanos coming in. Yeah, Mavropanos moved to right back. And when Emerson came off, obviously he came in for Emerson, and then Wan-Bissaka went to left back. Wan-Bissaka actually did quite well. Probably one of the better players on the pitch. Tadimo probably being the best. Spoiler alert for the player ratings. Nobody's really going to get above an probably. Which don't get me wrong, it's not necessarily a bad thing, but a lot of players aren't. A lot of players aren't getting above a 6. I'd say. I thought Antonio was our best player though. I don't know. I don't. I'm not too sure about that. I think just stayed in other people's positions too much. I don't think he was that good, to be completely honest. But I'm not even mad at the really at the players anymore, because if every player is looking shit, there's only one man to look at, and that's the manager. If the man's not getting the best out of your squad, I'm not expecting. Don't get me wrong. You don't expect your manager to get the bare maximum out of your squad instantly. But what we're trying to see the outline of what we're trying to do, and we're not seeing that in these games. We're not like against Man City was the only time we saw it, and we didn't capitalize on that. And we're coming up to next week where we have to face Ipswich at home. A lot of pressure to win that game. If he doesn't win that game, even if he draws that game, he probably won't get sacked. But he kind of has to. Would I sack him tonight? I would have sacked him last week. Like, don't even need to answer that. Um, Good evening, Mike. Sorry, you're still under the weather. I'm depressed on this performance. I can see you're struggling against Ipswich. I can as well. I can as well. Big up to yourself, Colin. I'm feeling better. I'm feeling better. Just my nose is just fuck. I didn't realize how much snot you can have in one's nose when you got a cold, but that's the English weather for you when you get caught out in the rain. But here's what it is. Here's what it is. We're soldiering through. Honestly, like, would I rather have this cold for the rest of the season or watch West Ham for the rest of the season? I'd probably have this cold for the rest of the season and watch this club, to be honest. That's that's my honest opinion. Like, when it comes to this club, yeah, like, we're just so ineffective. We have no identity. We're just passing the ball sideways. We're not pressing to win the ball back, so we're not a possession-based team. We're not a defensive team. So if we was a park the bus team, but good on the counter, we were scoring goals, nobody would be complaining because we'd have an identity that would be working. It's not even necessarily a football thing. Because if we were like a sick team on the counter, like we were like 4 years ago, and we would call it a deep block, but it worked, I wouldn't be complaining about, oh, it's boring and all this, because I don't care. But we're not that. If we was playing people off the park, we were conceding now and then because we're open, but most of the time outscoring teams. I wouldn't be talking about how we're so open all the time because it would have worked. Now, unfortunately, we are neither. And we've conceded an early goal again. And people are like, oh, Brentford are good at scoring early. Yeah, but we're also good at conceding early. We did it against Villa. We did it against Man City. Did it against not necessarily Fulham that early, but the first goal. Come on. Why do we always concede first? We've conceded first in every game bar one. Every game bar one game. The only game we didn't concede first in was a game we didn't concede in at all against Crystal Palace. That's a problem. That's a problem. It's like, are the players even switched on? Shout out to Lawless, that bald bozo, absolute disgrace of a fan. I've got nothing against Lawless. I just don't agree with the Lopetegui stance, you know? But this is the thing, yeah? I'm going to get onto this point as well. I know a lot of people are going to be like, well, not a lot of people, but some people are going to twist the narrative about this game because we didn't lose this time. Same way we didn't lose against Fulham last year, and people are like, okay, 1-1 against Fulham is fine because we lost 5-0 last year. That is ridiculous. That is a ridiculous mentality to have because losing 5-0 is not the bar. Have some standards for yourself and for your club. Now, I get it, we lost 3-2 last year to Brentford, but that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter because if we're doing that, we drew against Villa at home and won against Chelsea at home. And we lost against both them teams this year. Ugh. The players look like they've had enough of him already. Yeah, I'm going to get onto that in a sec. Ryan, big up Mike's lad. Big up to yourself, Ryan. That West Ham goal today, Lopetegui ball. You're taking a fucking piss. You're taking an absolute piss. But yeah, listen to the thing. Going back to this comment. Like, I said, I was briefly touched on this when Rodriguez came off against Chelsea. You know, hooking someone off and scapegoating them, someone that you recently signed not even at halftime in the 30th minute. That's going to lose part of the dressing room. And Rodriguez wasn't good today, don't get me wrong, but he's only just joined. I'm not saying that's acceptable. I'm just saying, like, you're going to need some time to settle in. But also, summing off Mohamed Kudus at halftime today is one of the most disgraceful decisions by a manager I've seen in a while. And I was complaining a lot about David Moyes last season. This is just as bad. This is just as bad as last year, if not worse. Debatably, it might be worse. Sorry, but give me a sec. And that's the thing. He subbed off Mohamed Kudus. He subbed off Kudus. You know how ridiculous that is? I can't be bothered because, like, listen, he was playing left wing again. Playing left wing again. And we predicted this in our match preview. And he put on Carlos Soler on the left. I'm going to have to get another tissue. Give me a sec. But he didn't put Paquetá left wing straight away. It was kind of him and Soler swapping around. But it was Carlos Soler on the left. I didn't get the substitutions were just terrible in general. Terrible. Like, this is the problem with this manager. It's just nothing makes sense. Nothing makes sense at all. Like Bowen came off for Andy Irving right at the end when we were still trying to chase a goal. When we're still trying to chase a goal, Bowen came off for Andy Irving right at the end. Andy Irving is getting pity minutes because the manager gave up on the game. Why aren't these things being called out from people online? Because people online are fucking stupid. I'm not going to be nice to anyone anymore. I'm not trying to be nice. I'm not trying to be nice, but you've got to be some form of fucking challenged to not criticize this shit. I'm not talking about YouTubers, by the way, because I ain't got anything against content creators, and I haven't watched anyone's match reactions, so I don't know what people's opinions are when it comes to YouTubers. But this is why I don't look online, because it took this long for Todibo to play, and Todibo put in a great performance today. Todibo was actually one of the few positives of today. Him and Max Kilman can become a great partnership, and the reason why you didn't have to see Max Kilman do much was because Todibo and Kilman were bouncing off each other very well. Now, what I will say, when Mavropanos came on, he actually didn't do that bad. He dealt with everything in the air, a bit like how he did against Fulham, to be fair, but I don't know whether right back's his new position or whatever, but if Emerson is going to be, like, have a knock or suspended, then yeah, play Wan-Bissaka on the left and Mavropanos on the right, because that's our only alternative that we're going to have. But still, you have all your options as this squad, and you're not going to get the best out of them. It's ridiculous. This is my problem as well. Like, this is why it's debatably worse than last season. Because you have been backed. Well, not even you have been backed. Like, you have been backed. But Moyes last season didn't want. Like, he got what he wanted. Because he wants a small squad. He doesn't want many transfers in. He only wanted more transfers in when he tried to change the style of play when we got Paquetá and Skamaka in, and then that didn't work because he didn't know how to coach it. So when we signed all the 4 players last season, you got what you wanted. You want a small squad, whatever. Because he's in control of the transfers when he was at the club. The director of football right now is giving Lopetegui everything. Everything that he's ever wanted. And he's doing Steinen so dirty. At the same time, though, you hired this manager. Obviously, you're going to say in interviews that, what's it called? That he ticks all the boxes because you're the director of football, and you're going to say that because you're not going to say that he's shit in interviews, but you got to know yourself that you've made a mistake here. You've made a fucking mistake. Like, it's genuinely shit. It's just shit to watch. Like, it's not good from an enjoyable aspect. It's not good from an effective aspect where we're looking to affect teams. It's not that. Like, we're not affecting teams. We're not stifling teams. In fact, we were just lucky that they had injuries today. They've had injuries for a very long time because half of their players are injured for months and years. Rico Henry got injured nearly a year ago and he's still out, and he might not be seen again this season, apparently. But this is a disgrace. This is a disgrace. But guys, when I'm like slightly angry, I'm just over enunciating my voice because I'm not even angry anymore. I'm kind of just done with it. I'm done with it because I don't have the energy to be passionate, even if I wasn't, even if I didn't have a cold. I wouldn't have the energy to be passionate about this club right now. It's just more the gaslighting that I'm angry with, not the fact that I'm watching my team and we're playing like absolute shit. Like, well done to Tadimo today. Well done to Kilman today. That's it, really. I can't say the same for everyone else. I can't. But the reason why I'm not going in on players so much is because if all the players are playing bad, who do you blame? If most of the players are playing bad, who do you blame? The manager. Because this squad isn't shit. It's not. Just because it was like we had the same complaints last year, that doesn't correlate. Because that doesn't mean that the next manager is going to be good. Just because the previous manager was bad. There's no correlation. So those arguments are fucking stupid in itself. But when it comes to this team right now, I don't know where we go from here. Like today, it kind of went how I expected it to go, but just different scoreline. But in terms of game plans, in terms of the way both teams approach the game, it went exactly how I pretty much predicted. Because the lack of press that we have is fucking stupid. Now, anyone that plays Football Manager, you will understand exactly what I'm saying, what I'm about to say, yeah? You know when you have the out of possession setting and your attacking line is on mid block and your defensive line is on high? That is how we set up. We have a high line, but we don't press unless they pass in midfield. Or one person is pressing, they tell the other person to press, but then the whole other team is just sitting in their shape. You know the amount of times I saw Bowen press, telling someone else to press and cover for him when they're trying to, pass to the other player. And no one follows up. Rory, I'm going to get onto your comments in a sec because there's a big talking point. Guide for you, Michael. Thought Brentford were poor at times. Yeah, to be honest, the only reason why we didn't lose was because they were poor. And to be fair, they were poor because of personnel. West Ham found their level? Fucking hell. Because you drew to the Bees, Rodriguez and Bowen were sloppy. I mean, they're probably better than us. Is Paquetá low on confidence? No, Paquetá's just low on performance. I also don't think the manager's getting the best out of these players, but Paquetá's been poor all season. He had a good 10 minutes. He did well for the goal. It was a great goal. Big up to Souček, Antonio, and Bowen and Paquetá for the goal. Big up all of them for the goal, but that wasn't enough today. And all the 4 players I mentioned, despite the fact that they combined well for the goal, they were all shit today. But guess what? I'm not going in on any of them. I'm not. Because I know who my direct one is. I've had enough of Loppy a while back. I've heard from my sources that Kudus had a bust up with Loppy at half time. I think that's why he didn't come out second half. Let me get on to Warriors comments. Lomotegi suggested that Mohamed Kudus is not a team player, but also about the early sub. It was a tactical decision. I was thinking we need that. I was thinking that was better for the team. What the fuck? Better for the team? You know what is better for the team? For you to leave. If you leave, that's better for the team. You know what else is better for the team? If players were playing in their right positions. Kudus isn't a left winger. He's not. He wasn't even bad in the first half. People genuinely had the audacity today to say that worked. People generally had the audacity to say that substitution worked. We didn't get Soler into the game. We didn't get him into the game. And how are we meant to get a man into the game that doesn't play in that position on a regular basis? So you subbed off Kudus But didn't bring on Somerville until late. So you didn't even bring on an alternative winger. You brought a midfielder that you signed for midfield to play on the wing. Your left side was Wan-Bissaka and Sola. Like, what the actual fuck? Does this mean then that Mohamed Kudus is going to be benched for Ipswich? You know, any manager would be grateful to have someone as good as Mohamed Kudus on their team. Ugh. I just don't get it. I don't get it. Sorry, if you see me muted and yeah, I'm coughing. I'm sorry, so Lopetegui's trying to blame his better players now. Does this guy not realise he plays him in the wrong position? That's the thing. The biggest concern for the past year that I've had in the past 12 months at this club is whether a manager knows how to get the best out of Paquetá, Kudus, and Bowen in the same team. I made this TikTok and a short video, and I did it in my. If you go watch, funny enough, it was the Brentford game last year. Brentford 3, West Ham United 2, the aftermath. Go watch it on my channel. I talk about it on that video. I'm pretty sure it's that one where I talk about whether the manager could get the best out of Paquetá, Kudus, and Bowen in the same team. And I also put that on TikTok as well. I still have the same problem with a different manager with doing that. Paquetá, Kudus, and Bowen. I'm not going to repeat where I think these guys should play to get the best out of them. I'm not going to repeat it because everyone knows that's been subscribed for the past month or two knows where I want these three players to play together. And the thing is, we're never going to see that, so I've stopped talking about it. Let's go back a sec as well. Let's go back a sec. When the lineup came out, we knew that was the lineup that was going to come out. Now, guys, we predicted like that lineup that was going to play against Brentford in the match preview, apart from Mavropanos and Tadibo. We nearly got the lineup exactly right. We knew Antonio was going to come back in. We knew the midfield was going to be Souček, Paquetá, and Rodriguez. We knew Kudus was going to play on the left. We knew that was going to be the lineup. So if we can predict that he's going to go back to his old ways, then surely it's predictable in itself. He benched Crescencio Somerville. He benched Somerville. He benched him. What did Somerville do to be fucking benched? Seriously. Like, guys, you've seen me go at players this year, yeah? Like, this season. You've seen me criticize players, and I still maintain my opinion on most of them because I think most of them are like, I know who's good enough in my opinion, I know who's not good enough in my opinion. However, even the best players that we've got, the manager's not getting the best out of them. So who do we blame? The manager. We're not just going to get behind the manager, pause, for the sake of it. We will get behind you because you have been appointed. And then we want to see what you're going to do. Once we see what you're going to do, we will then rise the levels of how much we're going to support you or not. Let me go back to your comments. You're spot on as well. You man are very unbalanced because you have no set X side because of Lopetegui. Facts. Thing is, Mike, they won't sack him because he's idolised by your board. Same with Ten Hag and Deitch, where managers are favourites by their board. By doing shit, they don't get sacked. I don't know about that yet. I think if we don't beat Ipswich, for example, and we come back and we lose to Tottenham and whoever else we have next, I think we have Man United and Wolves. I'm pretty sure, and he still doesn't get sacked, and we don't beat them 3 or whoever we have in October. Then I can see him being idolised. Bum should be sacked for some of a bench and Kudus left wing. Facts. Supposedly Kudus and Lopetegui had a row at half time. If they did, I'm backing Kudus. Sorry, I'm back here, like, pause. But I'm going to back Kudus over Lopetegui. Sorry, but what the fuck is he meant to do? Playing out of position. If you don't beat Ipswich, you're in a relegation battle. The thing is, because the league is so fucking shit, I still don't think we'll be in a battle. But I hear you. We're down there, so technically, yeah. I thought Somerville was good against good against us in Liverpool. He was one of our better players against Chelsea. Probably one of three. Somerville, Kudus, and Kilman. Not one player's played well this year. Not one. Apart from Kudus, apart from Kilman and Wan-Bissaka. I do agree to a certain extent. I do think players have played well in certain games, but we've not played well as a team at all. But honestly, if we're not playing well as a team, like at all, we know who to blame. Um, what's it called? Everyone is going to want to leave next season, depending on how this season goes and depending on who the manager is by the end of the season. I may agree. Starter will be looking at replacements already. I bet you. He kind of has to. He kind of has to. I bet you Kudus not coming out second half won't sit right with him. Yeah, like the thing is, Starter's a footballing man, so if he does have power, he'll be looking at that and be like, "What? You're benching Kudus? You're the one playing Kudus on the left. Kudus, probably the most valuable player at the club right now. You're benching him. You're benching him. Like you're taking a piss." By the way, when I heard Steinen speak, I didn't expect him to sound like that. Sole's a hard-working player you bring on whilst defending. He clearly has an engine on him, but I still need to see more of him. Even Bowen this season has been poor. And that's the thing, he's been completely misused as well. Like he's just been either up front or hugging the touchline on the right. Whilst the right back is inverted. I saw Wan-Bissaka in a 10 at one point in the first half. And it wasn't even Wan-Bissaka's fault. Because all season, I've seen this as a pure instruction. Sorry, give me a second. I've got a cough again. Mike, so I would have played that back four, but I would have played the midfielder, Somerville left wing, Paquetá, Soler, Kudus, Guilherme right wing with Bone up front. What's it called? The thing is, I wouldn't play a midfield two of Paquetá and Soler, I don't think. I wouldn't play Bone up front either, to be honest, because Bone isn't a striker. I'd like to see Guilherme, but he might not be ready. Your points in Kilman and Aaron Wan-Bissaka was good performance, and we've not had a clean sheet all season. We've been trashed since pre-season. I still think they've held themselves down as individuals. To be honest, I think they've played well throughout the whole season. Like, apart from the goal against Fulham, I think Kilman's been fine. I think Wan-Bissaka did come off a bit weird in the Fulham game and Chelsea in the first half. Other than that, I think he's been fine. Does he have his deficiencies? Yeah, but we knew this coming in. But I do hear you though. But I more think that's a structural thing. Like with even the Chelsea game, for example, we didn't keep a clean sheet because of structure. Obviously, it was a defensive mistake for the Fulham goal against Villa. One of them was a set piece as well. Fucking hell, we should have done better for that set piece. Some of the goals we conceded has been absolutely shit. Oh yeah. Of course. Kudus will probably get you out of this mess. That's the thing. Like, it's good that you said that because if you bench one of your players and hook one of your players that are probably going to be one of the more likely contenders to bail you out, you're going to lose your job quicker than you realize. Because it's not like he benched him for Somerville, by the way. He benched him for Soler to play him left wing. It's similar to when Moyes was like, his alternative to playing Paquetá left wing was playing Kudus left wing. That was what was ridiculous. I said the same thing, Mike. Totally behind Kudus, been played out of position for months, exactly. Bone shoot now, lost confidence. Yeah, there was that situation where he should have cut in and shoot. I think he looks frustrated in this team. He just looks frustrated. He looks pissed off playing in this team. What's it called? Pure and utter trash. He's a horrendous manager. Facts. Like, obviously, like, we tried to back him when he came in because we're always going to, like, try and prop him up as your new manager because you want the guy to do well. And I'd rather this just work rather than go through the whole process of, having a new manager again. But it's not working. So we need change. Who would you want as as new manager? I don't know who's realistic. I don't know who's realistic. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I don't know who is what's it called? Realist. I don't know. I don't know who we can realistically get. Whether there's someone in a job or someone out of a job, I'm not too sure. I'm just hoping that Steiner has the power to pick one. If he benches Kudus next game, bro, if he benches Kudus next game, it is long for my sanity. It is long day. Henry, what is in Thierry Henry? Thierry Henry is manager. I don't know whether are you said Thierry Henry? I don't know whether he's done enough in management for me to believe in him. If you're talking about Thierry Henry, uh, yeah, he's overthinking. Yeah, he's definitely overthinking. Big up Mike's, big up AK, bro. Hope you're doing well, my guy. If he could make 10 subs a game, he could. He would. I've never seen worse game management. I'm not even exaggerating. Like, yeah, we've had two managers that have had different type of shit game management over the past few years, but are both terrible for different reasons. We had a manager last season that would just bring on either subs really late or no subs at all to not change a game unless he really wanted to. And even if they did come on, it would be with 5 minutes left. With this manager, this guy likes to make halftime subs a lot. Sometimes when he doesn't need to, and only subs when he doesn't need to. Sorry, give me a sec. A bit dizzy. Potter, Tuchel, Terzic pay the money. I'm not too sure about Terzic. With Tuchel, I don't think it would solve our problems. I think he'd make us good in the cups though. But yeah, like the thing, like I don't want the he knows the club sort of thing, because this is the thing with the he knows the club tax. They will get more leeway because of the he knows the club tax. I don't even know if they're much better. I just think it's trash versus garbage. I'm being 100% honest. I just think it's trash versus garbage. In January, we can sell players and that would cover a manager. I don't want to wait till January though. I hear Everton's new owners want Surrey as new coach. They mean business. That would be a great appointment. I'd take Surrey. I would take Surrey. I think he has more of an identity in possession than Lopetegui does. I think he's a better coach as well. Maybe a bit reckless though. Don't worry, Musty. I am fine. It's just that because my nose is so fucked, that my voice is so fucked, and because I'm coughing so much that my voice is just completely fucked. So I'm actually fine, but I'm just like got a dry throat. So that's it. But I'm still gonna stream. But I appreciate your concern. Our performance today was awful, but we're not happy with the point. Yeah. I watched your game today. Terrible. But from Man City. Moyes' game management was slow. Lopetegui's is horrendous. Moyes is a much better coach. Oh no, I already read that. No, Moyes is better than Mike's hand and heart. I just think they're both shit. If we're talking Moyes of last season and Lopetegui this season, I'd rather kill myself than pick one of the two. We went a game that I can't get a ticket to an away game at West Ham, unfortunately. But I would love to go to the away game. I probably couldn't go in this state. I mean, listen, that it's quite unrealistic, but I'd take him. Bro, get some sleep. Lopetegui's draining you. Don't get me wrong, I will get some. I'm gonna sleep straight after this stream. I owe you lot a longer stream because I ain't been what's it called? I ain't been giving you the good enough streams recently, guys. So I'm gonna give you guys a longer stream than just 30 minutes. Anyone that could command respect and coach the basics 4-2-3-1, and yes, I meant Thierry Henry. That would be just a big question mark for me. Like I wouldn't know too much about what he's going to do necessarily with this team. The problem I have as well, I don't know, like, and this is just of one clip as well. Like, remember the podcast with Bradley Wright Phillips where he was like very demanding of the players in terms of the fact that he was trying to make the players do things that they couldn't do because he's Thierry Henry. He can do things that other players just can't do. But then again, that was the MLS. So maybe these players can do what he can do to a less extent. But I think we need to go. I don't know what direction we need to go in. I just want a manager who's going to get the best out of this squad. I don't care. I don't really care what style it is, but I do think that this style of play, in terms of not this style of play, I mean like possession-based style of play, however you want to play possession, will get the best out of this squad. People acted like we were good at the counter last year as well. I've seen that narrative float about. We haven't been good at the counter properly for a while, in my opinion. In my humble opinion, don't think we've been good at the counter in a while. So even if you wanted to counter with these players, where have we progressed to, really? Where have we really progressed to? But I might get onto the player ratings, but at the same time, I might not, because I don't even want to single out these players anymore. I don't. I don't want to single out any player until this manager is gone, because I'm just not seeing anything. I can't tell you one positive, barring the centre backs. I can't tell you, or maybe one Bissaka as well. Like, I can't tell you a positive. Like, he's not getting the best out of any attacking player. Any attacking player. That's terrible. This guy he's just washed. He's washed. He's fallen off. He's fallen off to what he used to be. Anyone that's arguing for him now is just fucking stubborn. And the problem is now, I've said this before, it's Moyes gaslighters versus Lopetegui gaslighters. So both sides are wrong and strong. Because the people that were Moyes in online want us to fail now. The people that were Moyes out and Lopetegui in want this to work so badly that they're backing whatever happens. To be fair, Fulkirk isn't playing, mate. Fulkirk isn't playing, so there isn't anything to get the best out of. We've gone backwards. We have a much better squad than last season. We've gone backwards, so we will continue to while he's in charge. Yeah, I completely agree. And that's why I'm more harsh as well, Damien, as well, because he's been backed. And as I keep repeating myself by saying this point, I wasn't expecting anything this season. I wasn't expecting anything. Even the times where you were more positive a few weeks ago, I wasn't expecting anything. I expected 10th. And I expected at the back end of this season to be slightly more gelled so we can take it into the next season. But we didn't get that. We didn't get that at all. So we're not getting what we're trying to see. We're not getting the outline. We don't know what we're trying to do. I don't know. I don't even know what we're trying to do off the ball. I don't even know what we're trying to do when we're out of possession. Like, are we trying to defend deep? Are we trying to like be compact? Are we trying to defend out of the pitch and not press? Because that's fucking shit. That's just shit. I said Harry Redknapp. Harry Redknapp's like 80, bro. What's it called? We haven't seen our best 11 and probably won't until after Ipswich. We probably won't even see our best 11 after Ipswich. And you know, our first game, like coming back from international break, is Tottenham away. If he loses at Tottenham away, we are so, like, it's going to get toxic. The crowd at Tottenham away, they will not have that. It's going to get bad. I agree with you. I refuse to critique any players until I see him coach one. That's the thing. Like, I still think the players I think are not good enough are not good enough. Yeah, but even they are being misused. The players that I don't think are good enough. players that I don't particularly rate. I don't think have a future here or should have a future here. But as I said earlier, the best players that we have are not playing like the best players that we have. But is that on them? Is that really on them? I don't get some of the criticism of some players, don't get me wrong, but I can't really blame anyone until this manager's gone, bruv. I know what I dislike about this team and like about this team. I know what I should expect. But this manager isn't the right one to deliver what I should be expecting. Not gonna lie, Sushi said Mavropanos was at right back, my brain farted. Mavropanos at right back, I know he's played it. Yeah, he's played at right back before, but it was mad. Like when I saw Mavropanos coming on, I thought, is he gonna take off to Demo? Because I was gonna say, like, no chance. But then he took off Emerson, I was like, okay, I'm assuming that's because of the yellow card. But maybe Emerson was rushed back because it was debatable whether he was even gonna make it against Chelsea. Like, he was 50-50 for that game. So did he get rushed back? Never mind the international break. Like, even if we did have an international break, this manager would still be playing like the similar starting 11s. And we're going to have the same excuse going to Tottenham away with the similar lineup to when we did against Fulham away, where it's like, oh, but this player was coming from that country and that country. So what? So fucking what? He's just playing players out of positions. Playing players out of positions. He's not approaching games correctly. In fact, what is the point of playing high up the pitch if you're not going to press? What is the point? What is the point? Because what's the point of not putting pressure on players when they can be like, okay, one diagonal ball and their winger is 1v1 with your defender? We might even struggle against Everton. Probably will. Same, I thought that when I see Kudus come off, I had a breakdown. Honestly, I didn't get it. I thought he must have had an injury. He must have had a knock. I was even watching it on the link and Tony Gale was on commentary. Tony Gale was trying to make sense of it. He was trying to make sense of the substitution. That's why I did it. That's like, nobody got that. The sub should have been Somerville for one of the centre mids, depending on how comfortable he felt. Give Kudus a role in the middle and play with two inverted wingers. I agree. If he had any sense, you know, he would have done that because that's what we've both been calling out for weeks. Like in terms of the way we set up. Like we all know our best lineup. He doesn't. But people can be like, oh, but he sees them in training. Clearly, he must be Stevie fucking Wonder in training. This guy has not seen shit. Yeah, the wing backs don't work for us. That's the thing. Like, I don't even know what he's telling the fullbacks to do. What did Tony say? Yeah, Tony was like, Kudus is one of the West Ham's best players and one of the best attacking threats. So Tony Gill didn't understand why Lopetegui took him off. He was literally trying to make sense of me. He was like, what? Like, if he could swear, he would have said, what the fuck is going on? Like, he did. Like, that, and that's a West Ham legend. As ex-player talking about the current manager, be like, what the fuck is going on? And he's saying it in a formal way because he's commentator. He's confused. And the guy is a former player. So former players are now saying, clocking it. It's kind of like, come on. Like, get some fucking sense into you. Did he fire a lot of the old staff? A lot of the old staff left because Moyes left. Their loyalty was more to Moyes rather than West Ham. Even though Kevin Nolan was at West Ham, he came in because of Moyes, so all of them left. They had a row at half-time, Mike's. You reckon? Wait, has that been confirmed or not? Kudus has looked frustrated for weeks. I think he slept. I'm not someone to push these stories, but I generally think that's what happened. I wouldn't be surprised, Damien. I can see that. But if he's lost Kudus, he's lost the fan base. Because Kudus is probably the biggest cult hero at West Ham right now, apart from Bowen. Because if you go to the games and stuff, and you hear his name called out by the speaker announcer guy, he gets one of the biggest cheers. Every time Kudus gets the ball, the crowd stand up. Like, West Ham fans love Mohamed Kudus. So if you've lost Kudus, you've lost the whole fan base. The whole fan base. Kudus is one of the few players where the whole fan base agree on how good Kudus is. He's one of the few players in the squad that nobody has a split opinion on him. Nobody. Neutrals all want Mohamed Kudus at their club. All of them. Especially Premier League neutrals. They all want Mohamed Kudus. They all were saying, why didn't we sign him? How did West Ham get him? That's what they were saying. He lost me. He actually lost me at Fulham away. I just needed that confirmed. And Chelsea at home that I was going to have him out. I said in my Fulham away match reaction, if he loses against Chelsea, I'm out. Because guess what? I don't care about draws to Fulham away and Brentford away. I don't care about draws. Oh, but we haven't lost an away game. What does that do for me? 2 of those were draws. What does that do for me? You see, if you're unbeaten away from home and you only got 5 points out of it, but you lost all your home games, that fucking means nothing. That means nothing. It doesn't mean anything. There's nothing you can say now to defend this manager. I don't have any loyalty towards any player or manager at this club. If something's not good enough, I'm going to tell you. I don't base anything of sentiment. I don't base anything of a lack of thinking. I watch football with my eyes. I don't get manipulated by anything else, whether it's stats, other people's opinions, narratives, agendas, views, and virals and shit like that. It is fucking shit. I'm not even a West Ham fan, but as soon as I saw the lineup, I was like, what does this manager see in Kudus that he could do well in left wing? Exactly. Like, if neutrals can see that as well, like, then what are we even talking about at this point? Been the same since game day 1. Signed a left winger with 30 goal contribution last season in Somerville, and he doesn't play him. He plays Kudus there. By the way, the few times that Somerville has come on, the few times that he's actually got the ball and he's been given the ball, he's been effective. And I really like Crescent in Somerville. And by the way, we've gone back to free Somerville because he was freed against Chelsea and then he was hooked off. And as soon as I saw him play 90 minutes against Liverpool, I knew he wasn't going to play this game. And it's not even like he subbed him on at half time for Kudus. He subbed on solo for him. Don't like wing backs anyway. Kudus is a world class, better than Payet. He is a very special player. I don't think he's better than Payet. I think Payet's a special breed, but he could be up there one day. But I don't mind wing backs. Just use them properly. Now, Wan-Bissaka ain't even a wing back. I thought he was going to play to like fucking as a 3 in possession, which we only saw for like 2 minutes in the game. And the worst thing is, Kudus is more comfortable playing as a 10. He plays there for Ghana. That's the position he wants to play. Kudus is better than Payet. Fair enough, but I think he could be one day, but I just think Payet was just a different breed of human. But then again, Kudus has more drive. But I don't know. The thing is, it's not the worst take in the world. Like, we're talking about 2 very fucking good players. But this is the problem, guys. This is the problem. Like, look at the problems we're talking about. These are easily solvable. Easily. In fact, these are way too easy to like look at and be like, this can be solved by doing this. And everyone's like, is your manager stubborn? Every manager's fucking stubborn. But it's just whether they're stupid with their stubbornness. Like, I've wanted pretty much every manager out since like 2017. Like, when Bilic left, like, I wanted Bilic out at the time, I wanted Pellegrini out at the time, I wanted Moyes out at the time, I wanted this manager out at the time, and people would be like, well, yeah, maybe the manager's not the problem. That's not how it works. The managers can still be a problem, and there still be other problems and there's also very different circumstances to the way everything played out with each manager's problems. But I want to go to what's it called? I'm gonna see. Did he do a post-match press conference? See if there's any fucking stupid quotes, because like I just don't understand. I don't understand it. Okay, no, I can't see any press conference quotes. Hold on, I'm gonna go to Rashane Thomas, see if he said anything, because I know Rashane Thomas does what's it called, the press conferences for the Athletic. Pyatt was incredible, but so is Kudus. Fumbling crime playing him left wing, exactly. That's the thing. Like, he doesn't even look like a bad footballer left wing, but he's such a special footballer that you cannot play him out of position. You have to get the best out of him, because if you get the best out of him, you've got someone that can potentially maybe become world class one day if he keeps it up, season in, season out. And I don't dish out the term world class to barely anyone in this footballing era. I've seen a post press conference, he just waffles. Yeah, he just seems like a Spanish robot. There's no character in him. He likes to shout a lot on the touchline for no reason. Yeah, the only quote that I've seen from Rashad is he took off Kudus at halftime for tactical reasons. Like, what the actual fuck? Who takes off Kudus for tactical reasons? Maybe your fucking tactical setup is just shit. Maybe you're the awful tactical reason. You are the awful tactical reason. You are shocking. Lopetegui is Spanish Ten Hag, he waffles. Ten Hag is schizophrenic. That man just wobbles and waffles. I just have a massive problem with this manager, the way this team sets up, and the personnel that he specifically lines up with. But it is what it is. It is what it is. We've got to bounce back from this, and we've been saying that for the past few weeks. When are we actually going to bounce back and come into fruition and stop seeing training pictures of players working really hard and the manager working really hard and the manager has arrived? Fuck off, man. If you can't beat Ipswich, that's 4 games in a row losses. If we go 4 games in a row without fucking winning, or have we already? Wait, Man City, Fulham, Chelsea, Brentford. So if we don't beat Ipswich, that's 5 games in a row without a win. And you are 7 games in at that point. You don't beat Ipswich as well, by the way. And by the way, we've got a direct sort of comparison to compare how a proper club like Aston Villa, when I mean proper club, I mean proper coach, you know, how he'll do well against Ipswich tomorrow with more games on his hand, rather than Lopetegui that's going to have a whole week to prepare for Kieran McKenna's Ipswich. But don't get me wrong, Ipswich won't be easy anyway. Like, because they've got a good lineup. They've got good players. They can beat us. Trust me, they can beat us. That if they line up their front four properly, they can definitely beat us. However, if you want to get into Europe, if your target is really Europe, you should be beating Brentford, Fulham, and Ipswich. That should be 9 points if you want Europe. And people will be like, oh, you don't have a divine right. Shut the fuck up. Bro, I'm using Villa and Newcastle as an example. They've recently both got top 4. Why can't we go out and try and target top 4 and challenge for cups, domestic cups? It's what we should be doing as a club. But we're not going to do that. This is why I don't have the energy to complain. I'm like, you may guys think I sound angry now, but you watch my Fulham match reaction. That's me angry. That's me like caring. Me expecting something. I don't care anymore. I don't care. The reason why I don't care is because I've gone back to the mode where I was off camera years ago under West Ham. I'm like, I'm so far apart from this club. Like, so it was the same last year as well. I'm just so done with everything to do with this fucking club. I just go out to watch the game, like, home games for the fucking day, bruv. Like, I'm not going to there because I'm so excited to watch my team play. You know, imagine if my reason was to go and watch games because I'm excited to see my team play. I'd probably never go. Yeah, criticism baller. Would you take Emery? Fucking hell. Would you shag Margot Robbie? Wish we signed Fofana when we had the chance last season, monster of a player. Bruv, that is a signing that we severely missed out on. Oh yeah, Max did win a product that day against Fulham. That's the thing, because we did all of that against Man City, then to go after the international break, to then line up with that lineup against Fulham, to play the way we did against Fulham, tactically. It's the way we set up, the way we approached the game. To do all of that against Fulham. And what are they smoking? Like, it's just crazy. It was fucking crazy to me. So I feel for you, bro. It's all good, man. It's all good. Like, honestly, what do I even expect? What am I even meant to expect from this club anymore? Like, even if we was to get like a manager that was sick next, I'd still have to humble myself quick. Let's say Lopetegui got sacked, and we get a manager that's sick, someone that's like a dream manager. I'd still keep calm because I know what this club's like. We'd find a way to fuck up a success chance, a chance to be successful. We'd find a way. We always find a way. It's a very long stream. It's a very, very long stream. So that was like 2 weeks ago was when I cared, and then when it got to Chelsea, when that first goal went in, I was like, oh, fuck off. Just fuck off. And then I stopped caring. I wasn't even shouting in the stadium on that day. I was laughing at times of how bad we were playing. I was just laughing. I'm seeing players get in the way of other players. I'm seeing players playing like out of their position. I'm seeing players getting into areas where they shouldn't be getting into. Like, I generally don't know what I'm watching. I don't. I have no idea. But is anything going to change? No. Nothing's going to change. Nothing. For as long as we keep this manager, nothing will change. And for as long as people want to gaslight it as well, you're not helping yourself. Your pure vibe is just hopium. Your only reasons to keep this manager is pure hopium and copium. Bro, I'm not even going to lie to you, yeah? I just laughed. I laughed. Because, when they took the kickoff, yeah, the commentators were talking about it. So the commentators were already talking about, oh, wow, this time they scored when it came up to, I think it was 22 seconds when they scored against Tottenham. And then they still had the ball, and I was like, don't tell me we're actually going to concede from it. And then as soon as it dropped to Mbumo, I was like, yeah, this is going in. And then I just laughed. Because I'm like, this is so typical. And we're on a back foot again. We conceded early again. Just because the team is good at scoring early goals, yeah. That doesn't mean you should accept conceding an early goal. Why should you accept that? This is my problem. This is my problem. Like, this is just dog shit, man. Honestly, love the club to grow a pair and suck him. It's peanuts. If they had any balls, they'd do it now. They do it tomorrow morning. Like, if you sack a manager based on a draw that's underachieving within the context of how he's done over the first 6 games, I will highly rate you for that. And I'll say thank you for being ambitious, at least with the intention of sacking this manager. Now go out and get a good manager And thank you for addressing the fact that you made a mistake. I give you so much credit if you did that. But I don't think they're going to. I want to see, because I don't go on social media anymore unless someone DMs me. So I want to see when I wake up tomorrow or in the nearby future on my phone that someone's DM me be like, thoughts on Lopetegui's sack. Pause. Not like that. Jesus Christ. Thoughts on Lopetegui getting the sack. Even that's a bit of a weird one, but you know what I mean. I generally think if you sack him now, you'll make back the financial loss of finishing higher up in the league. And the financial rewards that come up with it is like 3.5 mil per league position. You still can't pick the right team. Exactly. Like, they should just take the L. Take the L that you hired him in the first place and sack him. Every time I hear people say, give Lobby 14 games, but you can see after 3 games it will not work. The worst narrative that's been put out there so far is people saying it takes 15 games for a manager to get players used to their style of play. That is bullshit. Bullshit. That is so much bullshit. So much. Like Postecoglou, Emery, Maresca. Who else? Those are just a few examples. Arnie Slot. People are going to be like, oh, they all have better players. Do they? Like, it's not like we have this terrible squad that you can't get the best out of. But yeah. I'm generally fine. It's just my nose. But I do have a dry throat. I just feel like I'm struggling to speak. Hell no would I take Ten Hag. Hell no. It would basically be like this. Like it would basically be like this. It would be pretty much the exact same problems that we have. Don't say Angie's terrible. That's the thing, like, whether you think he's terrible or not, you know what kind of team you're going to get from Ange. You know what he's trying to do, at least. I was just talking about identity. Like, you know what Ange is trying to do. Like, I saw that their first pre-season game was against us. I knew exactly what they were trying to do. Like, we faced them in Australia on their first pre-season game. And I was like, okay, they're trying this, this, and this. Is exactly the way he played with Celtic. But, yeah, it's just an identity thing. Slot would have this team on smoke. Facts. That guy's a footballing man. That guy likes footballers. He likes technical players. He likes to play good football. Just a good coach in general. He would have this team playing ball. And I wanted him. Like, that's it, really. That's it. We need someone who can coach 4-2-3-1, nothing more, nothing less than DNA of our team. We have all the components. Yeah, if we have the right manager to do that, then and they get the right personnel. Obviously, me and you, Damien, have said the same thing about Paquetá, Kudus, Somerville, Bowen, like that being the 4. And obviously Alvarez next to Paquetá. Like, if we could get a manager to do that and coach that specifically, then yeah. That's the thing. I think Poch makes the same mistakes that these 2 managers do as well. Because he plays players out of position as well. And he just focuses on pressing and height of players, and he has severe naivety. I think he makes it, because even at Chelsea, he was making the same exact mistakes as Moyes. But yeah, he is the USA manager now, so unlucky to the Americans. But I'm going to end the stream there, people. I'm going to end the stream there. I need to rest my voice. I was going to do a stream for the Man United Tottenham game tomorrow, but I'm probably not going to stream tomorrow. I was going to do things we learned from Brentford, West Ham as well, but I need to rest. I need to rest my voice because I've got a long week. I've got a long week ahead of me. And I'm probably going to be on a few shows anyway in a week. So if you guys want to see more from my thoughts on the game, just follow me on social media and you'll keep up with everything that you'll need to keep up with. That's at GVR Mikes on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. If you want to follow me, email for the inquiries. Make sure to like the video, subscribe. We're trying to get to 1K before the end of the year. Big up to everyone. Thank you for the support. And I'll see you guys later.